Welcome to Letters from a Future Earth, Volume 1, The Compass Turned Inward. At first it was small, just a flicker here, a whisper there. A man returned a wallet he would have pocketed a year ago. A woman turned down a bribe, even though her fridge was empty. A teenager refused to follow the crowd, not out of defiance, but because she felt something pulsing inward. A young boy being pushed by friends to bully another simply said no. It spread like pollen on a spring wind. Not loud, not televised, but real. And soon it was undeniable. The compass had turned inward, en masse. It seemed all at once, and not because someone made us, but because we finally could. We'd wandered for so long in the desert of outer authorities, laws and punishments, rules stacked on rules like brittle bones, but none of it could ever replace what we lost when we stopped trusting the voice within. Until, of course, the old world collapsed. Not like an explosion, more like an exhale. Systems that were never built to hold the human soul began to unravel. Some fell to greed's own weight. Others were lovingly dismantled by the very people they once caged. It was messy, beautiful, awkward. Like puberty on a planetary scale. And the surprising part, when things fell apart, we didn't. There was no savior in the sky and no magic wand. What we had was contrast. We saw what didn't work, again and again and again, until something deep within us whispered, "Enough. You know the way." And we did. Ethics bloomed like wildflowers through cracked concrete. Compassion no longer needed a platform. It simply showed up in how we spoke, and how we acted with each other, and what we built, and what we chose not to build. Even the idea of governance changed, not because it was overthrown, but because it outgrew itself. Councils formed that weren't about control, but coherence. Cities stopped being grids of efficiency and started becoming gardens of resonance. We didn't have to be forced to behave, because behaving, living in integrity, in harmony, in contribution, felt so much better than conquest ever did. Even the old temptations, the ones rooted in lack and fear, lost their flavor. We remembered what they cost, and we were no longer willing to pay the price. You ask, how did it happen so fast? Well, the answer is it didn't. It just looked like it happened overnight. The seed had been underground for lifetimes. It sprouted in thousands of little ways for decades, growing organically around the world. And finally, with enough contrast, enough chaos, enough aching desire to do better, we reached critical mass. That's the thing with inner revolutions. They don't begin with a bang, they begin with a whisper. And now that it's here, now that it's us, we marvel that we ever lived any other way. I'll write again soon. There's more to tell about how we build now, what we grow, what systems look like when in resonance, and the music we make when living from the inside out. But for today, let this be enough. We didn't need laws. We just needed to remember we were endowed with a sacred compass within. Thanks for listening in. With gratitude from a luminous now, I'm Debbie Fields, a fellow human perceiving from our days ahead.